Hi, everyone. I'm Pip from Seymour Digital Media. You're listening to Know How Marketing Lab podcast. This podcast brings together different experts in marketing from our Facebook group, Cyberpunk Geeks Marketing Mixer. Each week, we get on here and we talk about something search marketing like Google Ads or SEO, social media marketing from Facebook to TikTok, or website marketing. If you're a marketer or aspiring marketer, a business owner or entrepreneur, this podcast for you. We're going to share the best SEO, search, social, and website strategies. We share tips and hacks, Google Ads strategies, what's going on in the current market. Each week we discuss something exciting and awesome in marketing. So we were just talking about how sometimes we come up with problems on our website, and when we're admin, Greg, tell him the story.
I don't think people understand the troubleshooting that goes into trying to figure out a problem on a site. Like maybe that would be a good future topic, is like the steps that I might go through when trying to diagnose when something is not working properly on a site, to give people insight of what their developers are actually doing behind the scenes to figure out problems.
I'd agree with that. I think that's a great topic. We should put that in. Actually, there's a topic slot for a couple weeks from now that would be perfect for, because there is a lot that goes into the troubleshooting.
Well, the worst thing for me and anyone else who builds sites is when you get a message from a client saying, something's not working, or something's like the website's down, but they can't give you any indication of what they might have just done or any backstory of changes that have happened on the site. So oftentimes you're really starting from nowhere and looking at a site and going, okay, like step one, is the domain still registered? Those kind of things. Step two, is the hosting still, valid? Step three, what is it that's happening? Is it a critical error? Do you get something and it breaks? Or, there's a process to start from to try to figure out what's actually going on.
Yeah. Is it me? Is it you? Is it them? Hold on, Greg. We got a sound issue.
Oh man, sounds great for me.
I know. Today, although you just heard about a future topic, today we are talking about types of site pages that you need on your site and why. So I thought this was a really great topic because it kind of pairs like the SEO and websites, and it gets us to talk about the types of website pages that websites have and need, so that you can, every page, right, you're going to make a decision on what you want it to do, and that will have an effect on what you do for the page, right? Like a contact us page is going to be a bit different than a service page, right? And so, hey, Greg, I actually went and got more information on this topic because we had I think we have a top 5. I extended it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 was the minimum for me.
Yeah.
But that go ahead.
I would class. I mean, eight's fine, but I mean, the topic, although it's like the pages that you absolutely need on your site, there's no-brainers that we probably don't even mention because they have to be something standard anyways, which are like absolutely every site has a homepage. Like you can't get around it. There is a first page that you get to every time. That's the homepage. And the other two would be privacy policies or terms of terms and conditions kind of thing. Those are like you just need them on every website, no matter what. So
yeah, and a lot of people don't have those.
That is, our suggested must-have,
right? And this is
mandatory,
right? And this is where we get into where we started with the one page. So you and I both know people that have done a one-page site. And what's it called because to have a one-page site and have it jump down to other pages, there's a
Yeah, so
Hashtag.
your menu at the top ends up being the each of the menu items just are an anchor that sends you down to that anchor point within that page to that shows that information. And it's very common for brand new businesses or maybe much smaller businesses that really don't have a ton of information to put out there, but they just want a web presence.
Hmm.
And this is why you and I kind of preparing for this went through but it's horrible for SEO. And that's a given. If you only have a one page website, like you're doing yourself a disservice because you need more so that you can do that SEO and be found and stuff like that. I'm not saying a one page website is right, but in
It's
some
not
cases,
ideal.
for brand new, businesses or people who aren't really, they just want the presence and they aren't really caring about, finding clients maybe through it. They just need that legitimacy of, having a site online. A one
Uh,
page website is probably fine for those people.
Speaking of which, and the story I told you about where the web designer and I got on the call and we both looked at a web page. She thought it was the best thing ever. She had created it. I thought it was the worst thing in the world for SEO, like the worst. And I started laughing. I thought it was so funny. But that being said, I think I will say I think you're right a little bit because of the example, which is they were a developer, housing development, and they had a website for their housing development. That website, once sold, all the units are sold, the development would be then the website isn't necessary anymore or needed necessarily. So would you spend time doing SEO on it? Maybe not. Would a one-page site work? If you're not doing SEO and it's there just to direct people to buy and you're not looking to get found,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if you build it, they don't always come.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, so the one pager, it does have a place, I guess, is what
I
I'm
mean, but
finally
depending on
admitting.
what you're being found for, you could only have like a single product and you're like just trying to get that one product out there. And all you want to do is have a kick ass home landing
Page at
page
checkout.
for this that you SEO the shit out of.
Mm.
And that one page gets found for that one product that you're selling, right?
Mm. Yeah. So there's the one page. There is some debate over it, but all in all, I guess there's a place for a one page website for some people at some point in time. So there are, we call them informational pages. And so that's going to be your about, your service page, is your contact page, privacy policy. Well, not your service page, sorry, but your privacy policy, like all the things that maybe you don't necessarily optimize
Mm-hmm.
for like specific keywords. I mean, you can, but
About history, like
yeah,
history of the company, if you want to put out that information,
yeah, right.
contact, yeah,
So those are,
the generic stuff,
yeah.
the basic business information.
And they're fundamental pages, like you have to have them. Can you SEO? You can SEO the about page, but I think the essential of the about page is to create trust, to see who you're going to be working with. And so it is essential, but if you're going to target anything, you're probably targeting your brand name, right?
Hmm.
In that, like, am I going to target SEO on my about page? I can, maybe a SEO expert or something, but like, should I be focused on that? It's a good question and debatable because about pages are the second most visited pages on most websites, unless you have a kick-ass blog, right?
Hmm.
Or you're selling in one product or something like that. Okay, so those are the info pages. So some debate there, but you have to have them. Okay, so that's the privacy policy, terms of service, and the about. And you could put the home page in that section, but the homepage ranks for many words, and it just kind of, you have a homepage because it's a landing page, right? The .com,
Yeah.
right? So then there's product pages and service pages, right? And you can have product and service pages on your site.
Yeah, absolutely. You could have products and services. Many businesses do at the same time, many people just provide a service and no products, and sometimes people provide only products and no services. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a real combination, but depending on your business,
You're gonna
you'll
have one or
have
the other. Yeah.
you'll have both or one or the other, depending on what you provide as your business.
Yeah. And those, I mean, those you want to convert. So the purpose of what that page is to get you the lead, right? To get that phone call,
Mhm.
to get that appointment book, to get what you need done. And so you would optimize those pages probably for like bottom of funnel kind of keywords. So, or maybe not, bottom of funnel isn't the correct, I mean, it's the correct terminology, but maybe buying keywords like buy school product or whatever, like, so putting a modifier in front of your keyword. So your keyword, say your keyword's crayons, your modifier would be buy, right? Buy crayons. And then your suffix would be now. Suffix, would it be suffix? Anyway,
Suffix is before.
they
Oh, sorry.
no
Suffix is
is
after. Prefix is before.
but attached, yes. So
Yeah.
we could go deep into this. So service pages and product pages. Product pages are pretty interesting for e-commerce, right? Because you can put a lot of effort into them. You can put no effort into them. They're there to convert though, right? They're there to take that, to help you buy that product. But oftentimes when you search for types of products, you'll get on Google search engine results pages, you'll get category pages,
Mm-hmm.
right? Versus product pages. Because I don't know how easy it is to actually rank a product page. I think it would be a little difficult.
Well, you would think a product page would be pretty easy to rank because you can get very granular about what the product is, and you're only
Yes.
talking about that product, right? So it's more, I guess, what
T47.9
the
soda.
competition level is for that specific product.
Yeah. Yeah. And
In the
so, yeah. And I think the product pages, you would end up in the shopping area too, right? So that's a whole different ball game for what you do with that page if you're selling like products for e-commerce. Then we have local lander pages, which are also to get a conversion, right? To
Mhm.
get somebody, because so you're going to be talking about your area. They're really interesting to optimize for.
I have some good questions for you because I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But
I got opinions. I got
when
opinions.
when when you want my questions, let me know. Say what
Give
you
me a
want to say,
question.
and
I'll take question 3 for
okay.
a
So
quarter.
so basically, what you're talking to is setting up location landing pages or specific places that are pages to capture people searching specifically for that area, right? So
Yeah.
it could be a business that operates in BC, let's say, and specifically wants to target like Vancouver, Burnaby, Kelowna, Surrey, like those locations. So you could set up a location page for each, and all of these pages would be identical,
No, no,
except for the fact that you're saying that location within the
no.
page.
They
Is that
have
not
to.
what you're referring to?
No, those are called doorway pages. So there is a difference, and the difference is
Location
those
doorway?
pages doorway. So a doorway page means it leads you. It gets people into the website, but it essentially leads you to the same place that a page that isn't a location page would take you, right? So uh, there's a fine line between a doorway page and a lander page, right? Both are trying to convert a sale or a lead into a sale. So there's that. However, a local lander is different. So my page about Duncan is going to be different than my page about Nanaimo, right? It has
Slightly only in the respect of your headings,
no, no,
and you're going to
no,
mention
no
the different
pictures.
location, no?
What you're saying, everything should be slightly different. You're talking to those people there, right? Versus, so they have to be different, or else they're doorway pages. If you have identical pages, then they're doorway pages, which means they lead a person to another page to convert. Like it's just to get them in the door. So as I said, there's a very fine line. Some people might change bullet points out for a paragraph. Some people might just, you know,
I guess I'm coming at it from a strictly like local SEO point of view of trying to be able to target people in that specific location for whatever your keyword is, right? So if it's like SEO Vancouver,
So
you're going to
here's
have these separate pages and they're all going to be basically identical pages, but
they
one's going
shouldn't
to
be
say
though.
SEO Vancouver, one's going to say SEO
Yeah, yeah,
Burnaby,
yeah,
one's going to say
but
SEO Surrey, so
but
that
they
you can.
shouldn't be identical. They should not. Whether or not it's not just about the keyword. If you make them identical, then they'll be considered doorway pages. Like, because why do you need a page for Surrey and a page for Vancouver if they're exactly the same?
For the ranking of
Yeah, but
having the title of the location in the.
and that's what makes a doorway page, because it's intentional for specific ranking. So here's the thing: in local SEO, if you relate to what Google says about for local SEO, it's the radius is 2 hours from your location. So, yes, I could have a page for Surrey and a page for Burnaby and a page for Vancouver, because that's the radius. If my office is in Vancouver, I'll probably get more people in Vancouver because of my radius there, right?
Mhm,
Because
mhm,
it's closer to the office and proximity matters. I can talk, if I'm talking to people in Surrey, I might want to talk to them differently, maybe mention different landmarks, depending on what my website about. So say I'm a carpet cleaner and I go to all those places, you know, maybe I can figure out something I can mention about Surrey. I'm not saying it's easy to make local lander pages, right? But the other thing is, let's say instead of doing Burnaby, Surrey, and Vancouver, say I'm a Vancouver business, and say although I get business from Surrey and Burnaby, most of my business comes from Vancouver. What I might want my local lander pages to be is, Chinatown, and then Little Italy, and I don't know, Japanese Village and Railtown. And so I could actually narrow my local lander to talk to people in those individualized communities, right?
mhm, mhm.
So I think as the future goes, if prices are going the way we're going, a lot of the people that were affected by all these changes were people who had to travel, right, to other locations. So if you're traveling further, you're paying more. So maybe we might get more people, more localized, so local lander pages basically can be, a little area in your area, or it could be Vancouver, sorry, but not identical pages. So yeah. But I mean, similar pages, they would be similar. And it is a fine line between doorway and lander. Want to know more about SEO? We've got a class for that. Our mission is to educate students about the right tools, techniques, and strategies to grow their businesses using the most up to date search engine marketing optimization techniques and tools. Find out more at knowhowmarketinglab.com.
So my next question, I know I have to look up what you mean by doorway because I've never heard the term doorway. I've
No.
heard local landing pages or just landing pages in general, but I've not heard the term doorway before.
The reason I know about doorway pages is because I read Google documentation for fun. Here I found an article.
It's an SEO. It must be an SEO term
It
because
is
we're talking about like what I talked about was exactly what you were understanding, but you told me that
the name.
those
Yeah,
are
yeah.
referred to as a doorway page.
And it
So,
is, I will put it in the comments of the chat. So I wonder, can
but
I add my own comment? Yeah, I can. Wait.
to continue with that discussion though on what either doorway or local landing pages, none of these pages also end up in your menu of your site. They are just pages on your site to capture the traffic, and then they're on that page, and they use the normal menu on the site to go to wherever they want. Because if you have like a ton of these doorway or local
Lander? No,
lander pages
Lander pages, not
all over
doorway.
your site, yeah, you don't want them linked in your menu. You only want your main contact. Their only purpose of being there is to be a lander for that specific location, to try to target that with SEO and actually have a better success rate of being found and pulling you in on that doorway or landing page.
I've seen sites that add all the areas to their menu, and
Menu or
yeah,
just like a
I've
single
seen it.
page where they say like these are all the locations that
No,
we
we've actually
operate
done
with.
it too. I don't necessarily think it's necessary, but I think you'd want it in your footer. The locations, I don't think, but so because you want it linked from your homepage, but not necessarily in the menu. I think it can clutter up menus, and there's lots of arguments about like what's because that's a mega menu then. Like, you know what? A mega menu is when you have like a drop down menu into a drop down menu. So the simplest is always the best with SEO, right? So like, like a really clean, there's a reason people have like 4 menu options, right? Which is like about, services, contact, blog. Like that's generally the natural like pages. And that's for ease of use, right? Because when you land on a website, I mean, there's so many places to go that you often get paralysis,
Mm-hmm.
right? About where to click. So simple is better, but yeah, it's a toss up, right? Like what's good for the machine, what's good for the human, the
Mm-hmm.
human. For some reason, I like saying it like that. Very Deep Space Nine of me, human.
Sorry, I kind of took over our discussion
You
there
did.
about
It's good. So
doorway.
we do have something we can give you all about the different pages, but there's Greg, we actually forgot, and you didn't take over it. I always love our discussions. Last time we spoke about this, we did get in a heated argument about maybe this is why marketers don't like each other, because developers step on SEO toes and think they know everything, Greg, and then SEOs do know everything. And so this is where we got to, but so we did discuss the blog page, right? Which is important to have content continuously to feed the beast if you want to rank, right? But the thing we didn't
If
mention,
you're serious about SEO, yeah, a blog is mandatory. Figure out a way to add a blog so you can get that content and optimize that content for SEO.
mhm,
Many sites don't have blogs because blogs just don't apply to every business. But
it's true.
it's the first thing an SEO company is going to suggest to you because
More often than
that's
not,
what they want. They want a blog and they just want to SEO the blog posts.
it's not the first thing. So I like, because we as an SEO company don't actually write content. We can, but we'll tell you how to write the content. Like, because that's better for us, because your business, and I'm not a writer. You need a writer for that. Specifically an SEO or a sales copywriter, my opinion. But yes, so blog is optional on a site. I think we both agreed. One thing we didn't talk about were portfolio pages, and case study pages, and testimonial pages.
Yeah, I think I mean, we could list like a lot more pages, but these additional pages are more specific to whatever your business is, right? Like if you're, a graphic designer, web designer like me, for me, I absolutely have to have a portfolio, right?
But you
Um,
don't keep it on your website, do you? No, you don't. You send it to people. Is
I
that
have a
right?
portfolio on my site now. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have to go check that
I
out. Is it?
resisted for a long time, but I
You
finally
did resist.
broke down. You broke me down. I finally added it.
I have to go look. That's awesome. I
You're
did
on
like.
there,
I haven't been on there in a while.
but you are on there.
Of course I am, because I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I have to make myself feel better. That's why I say things like that, because it makes me laugh. But okay, so
And
I
then
want to go on there now.
there's other like you were saying, not or I was saying, not everybody may need a blog, but certain businesses blogs are almost an absolute must. Some businesses portfolios are an absolute
Absolute
must,
must.
but not every site needs them. So it really depends. There are absolute must pages for
Mm.
specific types of businesses that we
I,
could get into, but
yeah. I do
um,
have one case study on our page. are on our website, and
Mhm.
it's only one. It's kind of hidden because it's to direct, people to see who are coming to us. But I also don't have more than that. And we will send people to our clients to talk to them if they need referral references and things like that. But what do you think about testimonial pages? Because we left that right off the list. And I was like, is that an essential page? Because
I don't think, and I've never thought that a single testimonial page is required on the site.
Mm.
I don't want to go to a website and go to their testimonial page and just read through a whole page of testimonials. I think
all they're going to say is they're great.
Testimonials are really powerful, but they need to be sprinkled within your pages everywhere that you're talking about your service or your product. That is where I think they're more impactful. I don't think many people go to a site just to read through all of your testimonials.
But a good SEO strategy is to, if you have a testimonials page, call it review in the URL reviews. And if somebody types in bad reviews for blah, 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 if you actually have your business name /reviews, you're going to be the first, your website will be the first to come up. Right.
That's an awesome tip.
Yeah. Right. Hot tips on Thursdays. But yeah, so I don't know if we have a testimonials page. We have them sprinkled, and we have a little pop-up that says our testimonials, and that you can click on and go right to Google. Because I think Google, for our type of business, is one of the trusted resources, right? So that's where you go read reviews. And who doesn't read a review or two when choosing a service, right?
Then the only place that I find, having a whole whack of reviews useful is if you're an e-commerce site selling products and the product someone's looking at, you would like to read through all of the reviews of what people have posted maybe about that product. That would be good. But as far as like just general business reviews or testimonials, I much prefer them just to be scattered strategically throughout the entire site in spots where you are talking about your service or about yourself, to show that trust that you have in people who have used you, basically.
I would agree with that. I also like video testimonials too. I think those are really helpful. On our websites, are we gonna, we're gonna put the trusted things that were said. Oh, and just because you have a review on Google does not mean you're actually allowed to put it on your website. You should get the people's permission. Not that anybody does, or maybe I haven't either, but just a recommendation technically, because you don't own them. That makes me want to break into song. The You Don't Own Me. It might be a sing-songy day. Do you have musical days like that, Greg?
Musical days like that?
Yeah. Where a song just pops in your head because of a phrase you used. Like,
I have songs pop in my head constantly all day.
I call it a musical day. And that's why, just a side promotion, I like the new TV show Grease. The Pink Lady, Rise of the Pink Ladies. It's so good. But that's just another thing. Greg, what are we talking about next week?
Oh, God, why do you do this to me?
I can tell you.
Yeah.
I'm prepared.
It'll make me look bad.
It's our monthly
wrap-up.
Yeah. So this next Thursday, we take what's going on in websites, social, and search. We bring it all together so you don't have to go hunting for the information of all the changes that are happening in those markets, which can affect your business. So if you're joining us on any other channel besides Cyberpunk Geeks Marketing Mixer, come join us in the Facebook group Cyberpunk Geeks Marketing Mixer. It's for marketers, business owners, and people who love marketing. On that note, we will say, okay, bye. See you next week.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
The conversation never stops in our Facebook group, Cyberpunk Geeks. Join us at facebook.com/groups/Cyberpunk Geeks to ask your questions, meet new friends, and learn even more about search, social, and websites.